It's oh my god. This is a beautiful sky. No, oh my god.